Hey everyone! When you step into your cruise cabin for the first time, there are a few important things you should take care of right away. Some of these tips may surprise you, but in this video, I'll share 15 things you must do to make your cabin experience smooth and stress-free from the start. So without further ado, let's get started. Tip number 1. Check your bed setup. When booking a hotel, the room type usually matches the bed setup, like a king or double bed. Cruise ships work similarly. You'll choose between a double or twin configuration when booking. When you first get to your cruise cabin, take a quick look at the bed setup. Cruise ship beds can usually be arranged as one big bed or two smaller ones, depending on what you choose when booking. But sometimes the setup might not match what you asked for. Don't worry, this is an easy fix. If the setup isn't what you requested when you arrive, simply let guest services or your cabin attendant know. They can adjust it quickly. Double-checking your bed setup right away means you'll sleep comfortably the whole trip. Tip number 2. Lock up your valuables. One of the first things you should do when you get to your cabin is find the safe and make sure it works. Most cruise ships have a small safe, usually in a drawer or closet, where you can store important items like your passport, cash, and travel documents. Once you've checked that it's working, put your valuables inside and lock it up. This step is super important because it keeps your belongings secure while you're out enjoying the ship or exploring ports. The last thing you want is to lose track of something important. It's quick and easy to do, and it gives you peace of mind for the rest of your trip. Tip number 3. Meet your cabin attendant. As soon as you get to your room, try to meet your cabin attendant. They're the ones who will clean your room and help with little requests during your cruise. It's a good idea to introduce yourself and let them know what you need, like extra towels or an ice bucket. Sometimes you can even ask for things that aren't listed, like a kettle for making tea or coffee. Being friendly with your cabin attendant can make your trip so much smoother, and they'll know exactly how to make your stay more comfortable. Tip number 4. Check the minibar. When you first get into your cabin, take a look at the minibar. If it's included in your cruise package, great. But if you have to pay for the items inside, you might want to think about what to do with it. Personally, I like to ask my cabin attendant to empty the minibar so I can use it to store my own drinks and snacks. For example, I'll bring my own bottled water, soda, or chocolate on board, or I'll buy them from the ship's shops. It's nice to have a mini fridge stocked with exactly what I want, and it saves money compared to buying the minibar items. If you like using the minibar as is, that's totally fine too. But if you'd rather have the space for your own things, don't be shy about asking to have it emptied. It's your cabin after all. Tip number 5. Remove extra hangers. Cruise ships move with the ocean, and that can cause items in your cabin to shift around. One thing that often makes noise is the hangers in your closet. As the ship moves, they can bump against the door or each other, which might keep you up at night. To stop this, take any hangers you're not using and store them at the bottom of the closet or under the bed. If you don't want to remove them, you can drape a towel or piece of clothing over the hangers to keep them from swinging. This simple trick makes your cabin quieter and more peaceful, so you can enjoy a good night's sleep without the clanging of hangers in the background. Tip number 6. Set up your accessories. As soon as you get into your cabin, take a few minutes to set up any accessories or gadgets you brought with you. Little things can make a big difference in keeping your cabin organized and making your trip easier. For example, plug in a universal travel adapter so you can use all the outlets in the room. Magnetic hooks are another great idea because cruise ship walls are often metal. You can use them to hang hats, lanyards, or even small bags. If you brought an over-the-door organizer, hang it up on the bathroom door to keep your toiletries neat and easy to reach. Setting everything up on the first day saves time later and helps you settle into your cabin. If you're looking for ideas on what accessories to pack, check out my recommendations in the video description. Tip number 7. Check the temperature in your room. As soon as you get to your cabin, check the temperature and test the air conditioning. Some people wait until later in the cruise to notice that their room is too hot or too cold, and by then it's harder to fix. Look for the thermostat and adjust it to your liking. If the temperature doesn't feel right, let your cabin attendant or guest services know right away. They're usually quick to fix it. On rare occasions, they might even move you to another cabin if the issue can't be solved. If you're in a balcony cabin, Remember that opening the balcony door can stop the air conditioning. Make sure the door is closed and sealed if you're testing the room's temperature. Checking this on the first day helps ensure you'll stay comfortable for the rest of your cruise. Tip number 8. Watch the muster drill video. One of the most important things you'll need to do on the first day of your cruise is complete the muster drill. This is the safety briefing that explains what to do in an emergency. These days, many cruise lines let you watch a video right in your cabin instead of meeting in a big group. As soon as you get to your room, turn on the TV and look for the muster video. Watch it carefully and follow any instructions. Some cruise lines require you to call a number or enter a code to confirm you've completed the drill. Getting this done early is easy and gives you more time to explore the ship or relax. Plus, it's a rule. You can't skip it. Tip number 9. Take photos or a video of your cabin. Before you start unpacking and settling in, grab your phone or camera and take some pictures or a quick video of your cabin. It's fun to capture how the room looks when it's fresh and tidy because it won't stay that way for long. Photos and videos are great for remembering your trip later or sharing with friends and family. Plus, if anything in the room seems damaged or not right when you arrive, having pictures can be helpful if you need to report it. This step only takes a minute, and you'll be glad to have a record of what your cabin looked like before you turned it into your personal cruise hideaway. Tip number 10. Find the ship's webcam channel. If you're staying in an inside cabin with no window, don't worry, you can still enjoy a view. Most cruise ships have a webcam that shows what's happening outside, like the ocean or the ports you're visiting. You can usually watch this live feed on your cabin's TV. When you first arrive, scroll through the TV channels to find the ship's webcam. It's a great way to see the sunrise, check the weather, or just feel more connected to what's happening outside. Having the webcam channel ready is especially helpful if you're trying to decide what time to head out for the day, or if you just want to know where the ship is. It's like having a virtual window in your room. Tip number 11. Check that everything works. When you first get to your cabin, it's super important to make sure everything in the room is working. This might seem like a hassle, but it'll save you from surprises later in your trip. Start by checking the lights. Are any bulbs out? Test the TV and remote to make sure they work. If your room has a balcony, open and close the door to see if it moves smoothly. Don't forget to check the fridge to make sure it's cold enough. Also, try out the bed and pillows. If the mattress is too hard or the pillows don't feel right, let your cabin attendant know. Most cruise lines can fix these things with toppers or different pillows to make you more comfortable. Taking a few minutes to check these things on the first day means you won't have to deal with small annoyances later. If you notice something wrong, just let your cabin attendant or guest services know. They're usually quick to fix it. Tip number 12. Find the power outlets and USB ports. When you first get to your cabin, take a few minutes to find all the power outlets and USB ports. Most cabins will have a mix of outlets for different plug types like European, American, or British, so you might need a travel adapter to use them. But don't stop at the obvious outlets. Some USB ports or extra plugs can be hidden in unexpected places, like under the bedside lamps or on the sides of desks. On one cruise, I didn't find a hidden USB port near the bed until the last day, and I wish I'd noticed it earlier. Checking for outlets right away ensures you'll have enough charging spots for your devices during your trip. Tip number 13. Unpack your suitcase. Once you're in your cabin, take some time to unpack. Trust me, it's so much better to get everything out of your suitcase and into the closets, drawers, or shelves on day one. That way, you're not digging through your luggage every time you need something. Here's a helpful tip. Most cruise ship beds have storage space underneath. You can slide your empty suitcase under the bed to keep it out of the way. If your suitcase doesn't fit, ask your cabin attendant if they can store it for you. They'll usually take it to a storage area and bring it back at the end of your cruise. Getting organized right away makes your cabin feel more like home. Plus, you'll have more space to relax and enjoy your room without a suitcase taking up valuable floor space. Tip number 14. Learn how to communicate with your cabin attendant. Cruise ships have different ways to let your cabin attendant know what you need, so it's a good idea to figure this out on the first day. Some ships use door hangers. One side might say, "Do not disturb," and the other might say, "Please make up room." Other ships have switches or buttons inside your cabin that control a light outside the door to show whether you want privacy or cleaning. On newer ships, you might even find magnets you can stick on your door. For example, one side might say, "I'm out exploring," while the other says, "I'm resting, please do not disturb." Whatever system your ship uses, learn how it works so you can easily let your cabin attendant know what you need. Taking a few minutes to understand this helps avoid any mix-ups and make sure your room is cleaned when you want it, and not when you don't. Tip number 15. Take a moment to relax. After you've unpacked and set up your cabin, take a minute to just breathe and relax. Getting to the ship and settling into your room can be a long process, so this is the perfect time to pause and enjoy the fact that your vacation has officially begun. Sit down with a drink, look over the daily schedule, and plan what you want to do next. Maybe you'll explore the ship, grab a bite to eat, or get ready to watch the sail away. Taking a little time to settle in makes the start of your cruise feel even more exciting. Remember, this is your time to relax and have fun. Enjoy every moment. And that's it. Those are the 15 things I always do when I first arrive in my cruise ship cabin. If you've cruised before, I'd love to hear from you. And if you're curious about why I love cruising in inside cabins, check out this video here. It might just change the way you look at inside cabins. Thanks for watching.